Meta, 11,000. Amazon, 18,000. Microsoft, 10,000. And Google, 12,000. The numbers don't end with just FANG. Twitter, 3,700. And Salesforce, 8,000. What are these numbers? You guessed it. The headcount each company has announced for a layoff. If you think about it, that's a huge number. The total workforce losing jobs from FANG plus Microsoft alone is over 50,000, and last year, nearly 100,000 people lost their jobs. If the number still doesn't surprise you, that's the size of an entire football stadium. But guess what? The worst is yet to come because we still don't know when this brutality will end. While there isn't much we can do about the bloodbath, the good news is that it is still possible to protect yourself from it and prevent it from happening to you no matter the economic downturns. As a survivor of the tech layoffs, I'll discuss the various strategies to survive these cutbacks. We'll explore ways to become recession-proof together, so make sure to stay until the end to find out. Just for context, I'm PK, a software engineer based in Seattle. I used to work at Microsoft, Amazon, and eBay. According to Challenger's numbers, the tech industry in 2022 increased its announced job cuts to a total of 97,171, amounting to the highest since the dot-com crash more than 20 years ago. So then, let's start by answering the fundamental question first. Why are companies laying off employees? Why are they letting go of the so-called incredibly talented people they fought so fiercely to hire just a year ago? The number one reason is that they grew too fast. The decoupling came after Microsoft added 58,000, Google 52,000, Meta 27,000, and Amazon a whopping 800,000 over the course of 3 years. Yes, you heard that right, 800,000 for Amazon. They doubled their size since the pandemic. You see, for companies to sustain and grow, the revenue needs to grow faster than the headcount. But the big tech employee headcount is actually either growing at the same pace as their revenues or even slower. What does this mean? They added too many people too fast. The only company standing out is Apple, having grown its revenues by 52% since 2019, while its headcount rose only by 19%. But does that mean that Apple is safe? Only Tim knows that. The second reason for the massacre is a misjudgment. During the pandemic, many tech leaders made optimistic projections, treating the pandemic-level habits as a permanent acceleration that would continue post-pandemic. The sunny forecast led companies to hire aggressively and invest heavily into future technologies. However, what's happening now? Not only has the online trend returned to the prior levels, but people also quickly reverted to their old habits, meaning that the permanent acceleration many predicted to continue was only temporary. Now, we all make mistakes. Not everyone's perfect, obviously. However, wrong decisions can be costly. And for companies with tens of thousands of employees, they can cost billions of dollars. And nobody likes losing that much money. Solution: layoff. The third reason for the downsizing is the macroeconomic downturn. This includes inflation, rapidly rising interest rates, and gloomy economic forecasts. Inflation made everything more costly, including the operating cost. High interest rates caused borrowing money to be more expensive, making businesses take fewer risks. And the fear of recession is pressuring companies to be more cautious and less daring. For businesses to withstand the storm, they need to be nimble. And to move fast, they need to cut the bloat. Just a side note here, if the recent headlines of tech layoffs have scared you from becoming a software engineer, you really shouldn't be. Layoffs do happen, but they're rare. Even if you lose your job, a recent study shows people usually find a new one within 2 months. Also, companies overhire software engineers, but it was mostly the sales and marketing that were affected and not software engineers. Take this with a grain of salt, but the economy will improve and things will get better. So instead of giving up, continue pursuing your goal by coming to my website. There's a free software development curriculum on my website at piratekingdom.com. You can also get a $1,000 discount for Springboard bootcamps with the promo code PirateKing. I was a mentor at Springboard, so I know their programs are legit. If you are already a software engineer looking to accelerate your career with the help of industry pros, try Pathrise. Pathrise can help individuals find jobs through one-on-one mentorship, personalized coaching, and workshops. The first 2 weeks are free, and I used to be a mentor there as well. Lastly, take a look at my recommended courses if you'd like to take things on your own. So how do you survive the layoffs? How do you become recession-proof? While there are no industries and jobs that are 100% safe, my experience working at big techs has taught me that at least some roles are relatively safer and more secure. I identified 3 such roles, so let's go over them one by one together. 1. Stay at profitable teams. The ultimate goal of any for-profit company is to make profits. And to do that, a company needs to have a core business. If your job is close to the most profitable business activities of the company, your risk of getting laid off is low. If you think about it, this makes sense because you wouldn't cut costs by eliminating the core business, right? You would do so by reducing the workforce not directly tied to an immediate income. For example, the ads team at Google and Facebook. Why? Their core business is selling digital ads on their platforms. What about Microsoft? I would stay at the core technology teams at Azure, Windows, or Office because they are the revenue drivers. Amazon, AWS, order checkout, payment, and again, ads. Do you see what I'm getting at? Try to find and join the teams that are key to the company's success. They are the foundations that help the company become what it is today and why it's still standing. 2. Stay at necessary teams. Even though some teams aren't directly associated with generating revenues, companies can't simply get rid of them due to various reasons. For example, the human resources team. When you conduct layoffs, who's going to execute it? The HR, right? Companies planning to lay off employees will need HR to administrate the process. Of course, if things get really bad, they can ask HR too. But again, they'll probably do it after cutting you first. Similarly, join the teams that manage the company's finances. Most layoff decisions are based on the company's financial status, so those involved with building and operating the company's financial platforms are less prone to getting cut. Lastly, stay at teams that are necessary due to legal reasons. Some teams exist simply because the law necessitates them. The human resources team is again an example of one. Companies can conduct layoffs, but they'll have to do it properly in compliance with local laws or risk getting into lawsuits. Another good example is teams that deal with taxes. Where there's money, there are always taxes. Companies have a legal obligation to comply and pay taxes, and to do that, you'll need to implement the right tax systems. 3. Stay at important teams. Now, this was a little vague because profitable and necessary teams are important too, right? But this raises a question. Can a team still be important despite losing money? The answer is yes. Some research teams and products are like that. Even if the business loses billions of dollars, some companies invest in technologies and products that have the potential to become the next innovation. If you think about it, many tech companies start like that. Think of Uber, Tesla, and Coinbase. It took them years to be profitable, and some are still losing money to this day. Another example of this important product is the virtual reality project at Meta. The company reported a loss of $9.4 billion last year for their metaverse org and expected the loss to continue for multiple years. Although the company cut 11,000 jobs last year, the chances of the team's core to the company's vision getting cut are very low. However, this draws an interesting comparison to Microsoft because Microsoft actually made drastic cuts to mixed reality and virtual reality teams. They decided to deprioritize the headset hardware from their business plan. So then, will Metaverse ever become relevant in the near future? Only time will tell. Alright, we explored various ways to survive layoffs and become recession-proof. What do you guys think? Do you think the strategies make sense? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my website for free coding related resources. And make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.